My pregnant wife peed while wearing pajamas, and I refused to help her. She got really mad and called me insensitive. I married my wife, Danny, about a year ago, and we were very lucky to get pregnant soon after. Danny is in her third trimester now and on pregnancy leave. Once we got the good news, I started working extra hours to save more money for when the baby got here. This means that I have to get up extra early every morning to get to work. I get home a little later and I'm usually pretty beat, but I still contribute to the house by doing dishes, cleaning up after the cat, that kind of stuff. This new routine has been hard on both of us, but we've made it work, and so far, everything has been fine. That is, until the other day when I woke up to Danny crying. We only have one bathroom, which is downstairs, and lately, Danny has been having a little more trouble going up and down the stairs. This usually went fine, but this time, she didn't make it. So, when I came downstairs, I found her in tears, standing in her own mess. She was clearly very embarrassed and even more so that I caught her. I immediately felt bad for her, tried to comfort her, and told her it was all good, and it could happen to anyone. Just clean it up, and we'll go back to bed. She asked me if I could help her, but I told her that made me uncomfortable. I would never expect anyone to clean up after my mess. TBH, it has happened before when I had a couple too many beers, but I always clean up after myself, and it would feel weird to ask Danny to do it for me in that situation. She got really mad and called me insensitive for making her clean up after herself after an already embarrassing situation. I proposed a compromise: she would clean up the mess, and I would get her clean PJs. She asked me if this was what it was going to be like if the baby made a mess, and I told her I would be perfectly okay to clean up after the baby since it can't clean up after itself. I then told her I didn't have time to stand there arguing with her all night when I had to get up in about 3 hours to go to work and provide for us. So, I walked upstairs, grabbed her pajamas for her, and went back to bed. The next morning, I found her on the couch when I got downstairs. She told me that she barely slept and felt horrible about the night before. She called me an a-hole and said that by not helping her, I only embarrassed her more. She then told me she would be staying with her mom until I got my poop together. It's been half a day now, and she's not responding to my texts. I talked about it with a few coworkers, and I'm getting mixed responses. Update: Danny came home later that night. Her mom was with her, but she only helped her load up stuff and didn't look at me or address me once. While her mom was packing Danny's things, Danny sat in the living room, and I joined her. I told her we needed to talk about what happened, and she reluctantly agreed. She explained to me that for her to get down and up on her knees to clean the floor was painful and that it was borderline cruel to expect that of her. I told her that if she was having so much trouble moving, she should have told me sooner, so we could have worked on a solution together. And if she had explained it to me calmly yesterday, then I would have reacted differently. She thought it was too much to ask of her to spell everything out and that I needed to be more present, both during the pregnancy and after. I told her that was difficult for me to hear, as I felt that I had already contributed significantly and didn't want to feel like she didn't see that. She expressed that she appreciates my putting in extra time at work but that she also needs emotional support, especially in situations like last night's. I agreed with her to an extent, but I did try to make sure she understood why I found the situation uncomfortable at the moment, which, after some explaining, she did. I briefly considered telling her that I talked about it at work. So we concluded on the things: Danny will stay with her mom until we figure out a comfortable way for her to sleep downstairs. I sincerely apologized for making her discomfort worse, and she, in turn, apologized for blowing up at me the way she did. We mutually agreed we were going to work on it. I love my wife very much. In the 5 years we've been together, we've never had anything like this, and I'm determined to make us work again, and so is she.